Well, we've had our run here in Split A, and now we're moving over into Split B for round 9 of the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series. And we're still racing this weekend here in Tokachi Speedway. But this time, instead of Split A going for the shot, it's time for Split B to show their worth on the racetrack here in Sarabesu, Hokkaido. And as for the track map here, we're going to be taking a look into the layout of Tokachi Speedway. We're talking about 5.1 kilometers of racetrack with 15 corners in total. The corner count is a bit off there. Apologies there as well. And we're talking about a lap count of 20 laps. 20 long laps here in this quite 90-degree track, 90-degree corner track and all that stuff. We're looking at target lap time of a 1:58.971. Basically, it sets up the stage for the final round, which will be held in Suzuka in 3 weeks' time. And also, speaking of Suzuka, compared to Suzuka in Sepang, it's the third longest track of the season. Suzuka is the longest, and Sepang International Circuit being the second longest. And as we're always going to be taking a look into the championship context, especially for today here in Split B. And as for Split B, we're looking at the few championship protagonists here, especially for Gibbens, Matthias Juan de Porto, and Vladislav Domaschnev. They occupy the top 3 in the championship standings here. Gibbens, while this car has only won 1 race, and Gibbons himself, he didn't win in this car, is shown to be extremely consistent in the race car, basically taking advantage of the opportunities when there is none. And obviously, with him taking the advantage of consistency and others falling apart, that's why he's in the championship lead. Representing Roboco, he currently sits 570 points ahead of second place Matthias Juan de Porto. Already won 2 races there in the number 3 Tsunamaki Watame Lexus, only sitting around 44 points behind the championship leader. And further back, nearly 100 points behind, Vladislav Domaschnev, driving the number 19 Akirose Lexus, sits 3rd in the championship standings. And now, of course, we'll have Kotri Farakama and Thomas Snooze basically making a Gen 5, 4th and 5th in the championship standings. And then we have Hofu Mai, Wawan Suharto, Catherine Vasiliev, Azad, Andrew Rakimbayev, Raji Kaczynski, Kizuhara Leo, Santi D, Sergei Petrov, and Muhammad Kashio, rounding out the 15 drivers who will be racing here in Split B. And as always, we would like to thank Shin956 for providing us with the track mod here in Tokachi Speedway. The quality of the mod, the track has been very cool. You can download his track mod in the link in the description below. It leads you to Race Department where you can get to download his track. So basically, if you want to show support for Shin and this track, you can go help show support to Shin by downloading this track in Assetto Corsa. And speaking of which, we're going to be transitioning over into basically qualifying for the Split B Race 1. Now, good morning, good day everyone. This is Muhammad Reza in the commentary booth, and unfortunately, unlike yesterday, I will be doing solo because Callum Gibbons is now recently been caught with sickness with a case of the cold. So Gibbons will not be available to do commentary for today, and right now, while I am currently alone at the moment, I am currently opening up the commentary booth for everyone in the Hololive GT3 server, Discord server, to basically mic up and join me in the commentary booth and share their opinions on the event so far. And currently, we're seeing Kotri Farakama, number 63, Yuki Hanalami Honda. Obviously, she basically sits 2nd in the all-time wins list, just behind Muhammad Reza in the number 31 Himimori Luna Honda. So if you want to talk about the Hondas have a very decent package here, quite close to the Lexus, which is basically the best car out there in this northern Japan racetrack. And speaking of Lexus, we'll have 7 Lexus cars compared to yesterday's 4. And with basically 4 Lexus cars, 7 Lexus cars racing, which is basically almost 2 times the amount of Lexus cars in a given time. And given that they mostly just mess up on pit entry, expect to see some chaos in the racetrack. expect to see some chaos on the Lexus cars missing their pit entry by turning way too early and then seeing some funny results, let's just say. And speaking of which, here is, we're gonna scroll to some of the few drivers here. Here is Vladislav Domaschnev, number 19, Akirose the Lexus. Definitely in the thick of it, a championship just under 100 points behind championship leader Callum Gibbens. Let's see what he can do. I know we do have somebody on drive here, Callum Gibbens there, running out the sector 3 and into victory corner. And another championship protagonist is Matheus de Porto. And speaking of Matheus de Porto, driving number 3, Watame Lexus, let's get on board on the lap. You may want to brake right here, right now, and hit 100 meter boards. Get onto the 90-degree first corner, and basically this benefits the Lexus best into turn 2. Obviously behind Andrew Akimbayev, and then into turn 3. Heading into turn 4, there's a lot of medium speed corners here. And then into turn 5, and then turn 6. Just want to get that braking zone right, get that trail braking correctly. And obviously setting the benchmark lap time that's not representative yet. And into Paddock Bend, which is turn 7. Get a good exit there off 7 for that long back straight. Well, not as long as the main straight, but it is long enough to show the engine power. Just brake at the exit. Brake at the exit road for the hairpin. First gear into exiting the hairpin. And then into the twins corner. This one is also pretty much a second degree corner. It's pretty much higher speed than the hairpin. Getting into the alternate pit straight into western corner. Looking pretty decent there. Another 90-degree corner, and then another medium speed corner where the Lexus cars tend to really show their strengths. And then into the final chicane. I'll consider this as the chicane because it's a left-right flick and into the final turn. And that is a lap here in Tokachi. Where will Matheus de Porto hold up in qualifying? Obviously, he is definitely a championship contender, only 44 points behind championship leader Callum Gibbens. So here is Matheus de Porto, 1:59.001. Porto Farakamas, that's the fastest time. That's the pole. That's the provisional pole. 1:58.817 from the young lady from Malaysia. Domaschnev, though, not showing too much pace there with a 2-minute 2:43 of second behind the pole sitter. And Matheus de Porto, that's not going to do him any favors. Callum Gibbens, though, hasn't shown a very good lap time here. Meanwhile, Azad sets the fastest lap time in the number 8 Ayame Lexus and is about to overtake Vasilyev. Yeah, you can see Vasilyev having a lap time of only a 2:01. That's not looking very good there for Vasilyev. Currently sitting in the middle portion of the championship. He was going to be scrolling over to some of the remaining drivers. There, Santini has set a lap. Raja Kaczynski very solid in the top 3. Fumai as well. Fetrov gets in the top 5. Thompson is barreling into the main straight. Qualifies 11. We have to see a few more drivers getting to see their lap times completed. Kizuhara Leo in the number 40 Murasaki Shion Honda. Yeah, he's lost out quite a bit on the first and second sector, but manages to string a decent lap in, qualify the top 10, and Muhammad Cashew sets provisional pole. 1:58.481. Great job there from the Maldivian. Wawan Suarto completes his lap. That's a P7 for him. And there we see all 15 drivers completing their laps. Vasilyev is not improving. She's very sluggish there in the first 2 sectors. She's not showing a lot of pace. Now, while Thomas Nukes is showing a good amount of pace, he's gained up his time on the first sector, only 3/10 off the pole sitter in sector 1, getting into, well, exiting the hairpin. Thomas Snooks heads into Twins, where he's about to finish second sector. Callum Gibbons moves out to second place. Relative to Domaschnev, who's currently 13th, that's a pretty decent job there from Gibbons. But that's still yet to beat Mateus Juan de Porto, who's currently qualified in the top 5. And Thomas Snooks loses out 7/10 to the positive Wamakashu in the second sector. Thomas Snooks is in the final 2 turns now. Let's see if Thomas Snooks can best his lap time. Obviously, at Hokkaido is getting pretty cold here, 80 degrees right now. Track temperature is only 25. So if we don't want to talk about strategies here, you want to go for the overcut strategy. Basically, hold on to your tire strength for as long as possible. Make sure you slow on your first hit while your opponents struggle to warm up the tires in their second stint. Well, at the beginning of their second stint. Kizaru Leo, 159.84. And when the pace difference is there, and Cashew keeps improving, 158.433. Watch out, everyone! Wamakashu is the car to beat here in Split B Race 1 qualifying. What about Juan Suarto? What can he do? 151.20, bumps Petrov down to 7. He moves out to 6. Oh dear, the Porto is being held up there by Andrew Akimbayev. Andrew Akimbayev fills into the pit. That's not going to do the Porto any favor to climb back up into the second row and above. And what about the Porto? Does not improve, and crucially, neither does Putri Farakama, who's solidified her place on the second row of the grid. And here's another issue with pit entry there for Plaza Domaschnev, but manages to get away unscathed. Cal Gibbons, or rather Gibbons, qualifies 3rd. Oh, it's a bit of issue there from Azad as well. Vasily is about to complete her lap, and but I don't think she's going to improve from here. We're going to transition over into the race, and that will be qualifying over. And that is Vasily's lap time complete. And that is basically qualifying. Callum Gibbons, though, with a clutch lap time that sets him 3rd on the grid relative to Mateus Juan de Porto, who's currently sitting 6th, and Vasa Domaschnev at 14th. This is going to be very interesting to watch for in the race. And as always, we want to take a look into the starting lineup here for Race 1 of the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series here in Tokachi, Round 9 for Split B. We'll have Cashew setting the pole time in the number 66 Joseph Ramel Lexus. Basically, the first 3 spots are occupied by Lexus cars. Aza is in 2nd. Number 18 Nakayama Lexus showing off the pace in the Ojo car. Callum Gibbons, while commentator Gibbons is sick due to the sickness. Callum Gibbons in Hololive GT3 is doing just fine in 3rd. Putri Farakama holds on to 4th place, number 63 Yukon Honda, just behind this number 64 Roboco Lexus. Raja Kaczynski also qualifies very decently in the number 74 Yuzuki Choco Lexus. Mateus Juan de Porto, championship contender to Callum Gibbons, qualifies 6th. Number 3 Tsunamaki Watame Lexus. Juan Suarto, number 20 Sharonui Flynn Nissan, qualifies 7th. Sergei Petrov, number 8 in 8th place. Number 5 Nekomata Kaya Nissan in 8th. Santini 9th in the number 9 Minato Aqua Nissan, qualifies 9th. Hofu Mai still there in 10th place. Number 1 Tokino Sora Nissan in 10th. Andrew Akimbayev, number 30 Okami Mio Honda in 11th. Thomas Snooks 43. Shirobota Lexus in 12th. Kizaru Leo in the number 40 Murasaki Honda in 13th. Vladislav Domaschnev also competing for the championship, not looking good there in 14th in the Akirose Lexus number 19, and Catherine Vasily rounds up the field in the number 11 Sarape Cora Honda. And that is the qualifying order basically settled here as we're about to move over into the start of the race. Here we see 15 cars lined up onto the grid. We have Muhammad Cashew sitting on pole. Very good stuff from him. And then we have Azad alongside him in 2nd. With Gal Gibbons in 3rd, the Porto 6th, and Domaschnev in 14th. Where will this race curtail? As the race comes to green, Look at this, Farakawa having a very good shot there into the race start. They're about to go 3 wide in the third one. Yes, they are going 3 wide, but it's not fanned down back to 2 wide. Farakawa's had a very decent start there. Actually, it's a very good start for Farakawa, who's now moved up to second. We're looking at a massive pile up there between Hofuma and the rest of the field. That has bunched up a lot of the drivers. And crucially, it has also caught up to Domaschnev, who's now far away from the rest of the field here. And look at this, Domaschnev is going to try to catch up to Snooks and Rakimaev battling side by side into turns 3 and 4. Rakimaev tries to make a move into Snooks. And yes, Fuma is able to get back on track, thank goodness. So it's Wamakashio leading, Farakawa, Kaczynski in 3rd, Gibbens 4th, Porto 5th, Azad 6th, Petros Evans Harto 8th, Need 9th, and Kizuhara Leo rounding out the top 10, basically getting away from that incident unscathed. And apologies if there is a bit of a mistake in the lap time counter, as there was 27 laps there. Apart from 20, there has been a bit of a miscalculation in the lap time counter. And with that in mind, this will also kind of mess up the fuel strategy for some of the drivers here. But for the purposes of this race, we will definitely stop counting basically the field once we get into basically lap 20. Lap 20 is when the race will naturally end, and when that race will naturally end on lap 20, the race will definitely stop and the winner will be declared. Wamakashio is going to finish the first lap in the race lead. Farakawa in 2nd, Kaczynski 3rd, Gibbons 4th, Azad 5th, never mind, Azad's in 6th, Petrov 7th, Suharto 8th, Sandy Need 9th, Kizuhara Leo is in 10th, Rakimaev in 11th, side by side with Thomas Snooks. Thomas Snooks having the slipstream, gets the pass, gets the pass Rakimaev for 11th place, and look at Rakimaev getting a bit loose there into turn 2. Exiting turn 2 and into turn 3, tries to hold on to 12th spot. Definitely under pressure there from Domaschnev, who's looking to limit the damage as much as possible. And as for the Porto and Gibbons, they are battling they're battling for position there. They're both in the top 5. They're both 1 and 2 in the championship standings. Let's see where the Porto will end up relative to Azad, as they are barreling down the main straight. Easy come, easy go for these two. As Farakawa's really piling the pressure on Wamakashio there for the race lead. And Fumai makes a move on Vasilia for 14. Great stuff there. An overtake at the back straight, using the power of the Nissan BR38 EDTT, and despite that mangled bodywork, Fumai is now up to 14. Vasilia is still struggling on the racetrack though, so I don't know if she can make it into the top 10 with this pace, but let's hope for a miracle in her case. And as you can see, Farakawa trying to catch up to Wamakashio as we're about to start lap 3 of this race. Porto Farakawa, wait no, Cal Gibbons, wait no, Mateus won the Porto sets the fastest stop of the race so far, 158.846. The tires have warmed up, the drivers are in full groove, basically in their rhythm, in their groove on their specific races. And as we're starting lap 23, here is basically the race field model. Basically, we're looking at who's going to pit first and who's going to pit later. If we're looking at who's going to pit later, it's going to be Hofuma going for the extreme overcut strategy, as does Wamakashio. We've seen the Hondas do this strategy, and they must have thought, why not Lewis do this for, why not the Nissan and Lexus do this at the same as well. So we're looking at Fumai and Cashew going for the extreme overcut strategy, and for those doing the undercut strategy, we're looking at Kizuhara Leo and Mateus Porto. They will be the first guys pitting in this race. Now where they will do the second stop because they thought the race would be 27 laps. We'll wait and see, but whatever the case is, the race will be called on lap 20, regardless. Oh well, after lap 20 has been finished, and look at this, Varakawa trying to make a move around the outside of the hairpin. Not close enough to Cashew, and look at this, she's going to be under pressure from Raiji Kaczynski. Raiji Kaczynski is really piling under pressure on Farah Kamal. Gibbens and the Porto not far behind. Umai is looking for his next prey. Vladislav Domaschnev. This is not where Domaschnev should be running. And Fumai went wide and almost collects Catherine Vasiliev in the process. Goes way too hard there in the twins and is now under pressure from Vasiliev. Vasiliev has the inside line and is going to be pushed off wide by Vasiliev. They're side by side heading into victory corner. But the outside line of victory corner is going to be the inside line for the penultimate corner. But Vasiliev has the track position, has a few car lengths ahead of Fumai, and that's going to be playing into the hands of Vasiliev at the moment. Because he's trying to catch Farah Kamal, but to no avail. Gibbons trying to close up to Kaczynski, but not close enough there. The Porto in 5th, Azad 6, Petrov 7, Suharto 8, Santini 9, Kizar Leo in 10th. Kaczynski is currently in 3rd place, trying to catch up to Farah Kamal. Basically, the gap between the leader and 5th, you can put a blanket on it at this point, because the gap here is only 1.6 seconds. That is the gap between the leader and 5th place as it stands. And speaking of gaps and positions, we're looking at the progress chart as well. Who gains the most and who loses the most? Fumai started 10th, but after a tangle in the first lap, Fumai is now down to 15 from 10th, loses 5 positions. And Azad started 2nd, but due to him bucking down the start, he's now down to 6. And for the biggest gainers, Kizuhara Leo started 13th, and now making use of the incident between Fumai and the back of the field, Kizuhara Leo is now in the points in 10th. And Porto Farakama, Raji Kaczynski each gained 2 positions from Azad's bucking down the start. We're looking at the gaps here right now. Kaczynski and another overtake for position there. Thomas Suits on the inside of Kizuhara Leo on West End and into victory. And that's Thomas Snoots consolidating basically 11th place. We're switching over to intervals right now and looking at Kizuhara Leo's difference in the gas at the start finish straight. It's only 3:10 separating between the two, but can Leo catch up? I don't think so. Petrov sets a personal best lap time of 1:59 if I'm not mistaken. Leo gets close, but not close enough. Leo's now out of the points, and Snooks is back in the points. Cashew, and look at another move there between Domaschnev and Rekenbayev. Domaschnev is hell-bent, is trying to get himself back in contention for the championship. Domaschnev is close to 100 points back on Callum Gibbons right now, and Callum Gibbons looks to score a Goliath 43 points over Domaschnev's 0. And that will mean that Domaschnev will be over 100 points below the championship leader. And that's not going to do him any favors in the championship battle as it stands, especially this late in the championship season. Look at Mateus won the Porto, getting close, getting close. Putifar Kamal is also getting close to Cashew. Doesn't go off wide. But Kaczynski goes wide, nearly opens the door for Callum Gibbons. Callum Gibbons is almost side by side. Is gonna make a move around the inside of Kaczynski. Callum Gibbons is gonna make himself absolutely clear that he's going to win the Split B Championship. He's gonna try to make a move around the inside of Kaczynski at West End. Pushing Kaczynski off wide, but Kaczynski is gonna put up a huge battle, and that would be the Porto will be in the thick of it. And looking at Kaczynski having a very good launch there of victory, but it's not going to be enough. Kaczynski is losing ground, and if the Porto wants to try to challenge Gibbons for the championship, the Porto needs to pass Kaczynski ASAP. Plus, Domaschnev being called into the pits first, he may be doing a two-stop strategy because he thinks the race will be 27 laps. Well, let's see if other drivers are going to be committing to a two-stop strategy as well. Sergei Petrov now side by side with Azad. Azad actually defending quite well there from Sergei Petrov. Sergei Petrov has that straight line speed where the Lexus cars lag. Their speed is at the corners. So Petrov really getting himself close to basically Azad. And looking at Domaschnev. Domaschnev is looking to pit again at the next few laps. Unfortunately, it will be on lap 12. So I'm not sure what they thought Domaschnev thought of there. And here's Domaschnev back on track to 36 seconds behind Fumai. Let's see how much of a pace that he can gain. Now, of course, Gibbo has mentioned that this track is a basically rear limited track where basically you use, not like a rear limited track, but it's a track where you use your rear tires a lot. And as you can see, Kaczynski's really holding up the field there from 5th on back. That's not going to do. Oh, look at this, Santini and Thomas Snooks side by side at twins, and now Snooks has the car length ahead of Santini. Santini's going to try to dive down the inside. Not quite close enough there, Santini, as he's now under pressure from Leo. Another Akirose battle rolls around while they are battling in the bottom 5 of the championship consistently. It's these two cars, they always tangle with each other, for better or for worse. And right now we're looking at some of the field battles here. Look at Kizuhara Leo peeling down the inside of Santini in the main straight. And look at Kizuhara Leo really trying to edge ahead of Santini, but he's not close enough. Will he make the dive bomb? Yes, he does. Almost pushes Santini off, but that compromises his own exit. And Santini's 10th place right now. As you can see, the Porto's really losing touch there with Callum Gibbons as it said. This is not what the Porto needed. And we're looking at the race fuel monitor right now. The Porto strategy to pit earlier than usual for the undercut will be in effect the next lap. But will he pit again? We will wait and see. And look out, Gibbons. Oh yes, they will pit at the same time. There could be pandemonium between the Lexus cars in pit road. They struggle on pit entry. Who will be the victim of the guardrail in pit entry for this race and the next? We'll wait and see. But right now the Porto's trying to catch up to Kaczynski and Gibbons, but they're not close enough. Almost gets pushed off wide there by Azad. There goes off wide. That's not going to do him a lot in basically trying to challenge. Oh, look at this. Petrov down the inside of Azad. There's now another side-by-side battle between Santini and Thomas Snooks. Two side-by-side battles happening at the same time. Azad on the outside in the 18 Miami Lexus. Petrov makes the overtake in the number 5 Okayo Nissan. And Santini still side-by-side with Snooks in victory corner, and that's going to push Snooks off wide. And this will give the launch there for Leo. Sneeze up to 9th place, and will Kizuhara Leo catch up to Snooks in the final 2 corners. No one's going to try to pit so far. And right now we're seeing a few drivers side by side. Look at Azad trying to make a move around the inside of Petrov. Azad trying to challenge Petrov back for 6. And Snooks is going to try to challenge the for position as well. Turn 2 is going to be owned by Azad. Yes, it does. And Snooks owns 9th place. Anthony's now down to 10th. This is amazing racing here in Tokachi. Shin has done a very good job. And look at Suharto trying to make a move on Petrov around the outside. That's going to put Suharto in a compromising position. He's going to be vulnerable for an overtake there by Thomas Snooks. Thomas Snooks is on the charge. And as we watch right now, very good racing there from the GT3 car. Shin has made a very good mod here So I haven't recommended this track one enough. It's a high quality track. It's basically must if you love your Japanese tracks, and it's available in the link in the description. It will take you to Race Department's page where you can download the mod. And here is Kazuhara Leo side by side with Santini. On the outside goes Leo, inside goes Ni. An Akushio battle once again for track position. And look at this. There's nothing much separating between the two. Leo's on the outside. Santini pushes Leo off wide into the grass. They make contact. No time for onboards as Leo is going to try to hang around the outside. And that would mean that Ni will have the launch into the final two turns. And they make contact! They both make contact! And then once again, Kizuhara Leo spins out Santini. And Santini is out of the running as Kizuhara Leo hits the guardrail. Santini again. For the second time this season, Kizuhara Leo has punted a driver in the number 9 Minato Aqua Nissan. And Kizuhara Leo basically getting the best out of it. Unfortunately, as you can see, we have confirmation that Santini is out of the running. Commiserations there for Santini. And the stewards are not going to be very happy with Kizuhara Leo's actions, as there could be a 30-second penalty inbound for basically Santini. For Kizuhara Leo for basically making contact with Santini in the final two turns. In the penultimate corner, we will be looking at a replay once the race has ended. And as of right now, how about the rest of the field? Count Gibbens outside and Mateus Juan de Porto. Basically, Lexus driver sitting in 3rd, 5th, and 6th will be called into the pits. De Porto is doing a very good job there and trying to keep himself a good length between himself and Gibbens. Azad's not far behind, in 2 seconds back. While Cashew has this race under control. Now, these will be the first Lexus cars pitting here, and we will like to see if they can survive entering pit lane. Let's see if they can turn it in late enough to not make contact with the Armco on pit entry. Callum Gibbons being called into the pits. There he is, gets called into the pits. Let's see what happens. Makes contact, he's safe. De Porto, I don't think he's safe. Actually, they're all safe. Azad isn't. Azad is spawned in Armco and is out of the race. Azad is out. Turns way too early, and that's race over for Azad. And we'll have our second DNF of the race so far, and we're hearing the steward's call as it stands, and it's pretty much undetermined right now. But for good measure there, since Leo came out unscathed relative to me getting the worst out of it, it looks to me that Leo will be receiving a 15-second time penalty, which will go against his race result in basically all that. Again, apologies for the slight lag here. And Vasilyev gets into the pits, gets her car serviced, and that's herself out. Will she have enough fuel for the rest of the race? Barely, but will she make it on lap 20? We will wait and see as well. And so currently the top 3 are as follows: Cashew, Farakama, and Kaczynski. Petrov now up to 4th, Suharto in 5th. Snook 6th, Rokenbayev 7th, Fumai 8th, Gibbons 9th, and Porto 10th. The gap between Gibbons and Porto are only 2 seconds. But look at the race field monitor. Cal Gibbons will look to pit once again, as does the Porto. They will pit at roughly the same time as each other. here we see Vasilyev getting into the race, and Thomas Nukes! Thomas Nukes has missed the pit entry as well! Another Lexus having issues on pit entry, and that's Thomas Nukes out of running! And that's Thomas Nukes out of the race. Unfortunately, he will be out. That will be the third DNF of the race so far. Now we're down to 12 runners here. Let's see what. Oh, look at this. Petrov and Suharto going side by side. Suharto is going to get pretty squirrely here. So again, Petrov is going to make a move into basically turn 4. I believe it's turn 4. So I know it's turns 2 and 3. And then it's turn 4, I believe. Never mind, it's an SG corner, and then we're exiting paddock bend. And Suharto's catching up. Domaschnev pits again. Hopefully for the last time right now. I don't think there's a bit of an issue there with Domaschnev. I think there was a bit of an issue with Domaschnev. I think they got the fuel calculations a bit wrong. They're going for as many pit stops as possible. This is already his second stop, and that's not going to do him any favors. Oh dear. And that's last slot Domaschnev in the pits. They're trying to check the car if there are any problems, but right now it looks like the problem has been resolved. Domaschnev still out of contention for the race win. Who will be the next driver to pit? It'll be Azar, Rajikiski, Sergei Petrov, Wallace Suharto, and basically those 4 drivers. Thomas is out and running. Here's Sergei Petrov peeling into the pits. Safe for the Nissans. The Nissan duo is looking very good in pit entry. Kaczynski as well. Good job from him. And who will be next on, and who will be making their way to the pits? Azad. Oh yes, Azad has basically messed up on pit entry, so basically he's out of running as well. He looks to be credited with a 14th place finish. And that is Petrov, and Suharto is going to be out soon. And yes, there they are right now, and currently Petrov has beaten Suharto on pit road. Meanwhile, Cashew and Farakamal battling hammer and tongs for race position here. The battle for race lead is still ripe even after 12 laps of racing here in Tokachi. Kizuhara and Leo trying to make the chase to the Porto. And right now we're looking at the top 10 right now. Suharto in 10th, Petrov 9th, Leo 8th, the Porto 7th, Gibbens 6th. And the Porto is losing touch to Gibbens, unfortunately. And this will mean that Gibbens will eke out a gap in the championship standings. Kaczynski in 5th, Fumai 4th, Rakimbayev 3rd. Rakimbayev has yet to make a stop. Farakamal 2nd, and Muhammad Cashew holding on to this race lead. Won't be having any new drivers making a pit stop. But look at this, Farakamal's getting really close here. Her fuel levels are getting dangerously low, but Farakamal is still hell-bent on trying to make a move on Cashew. She's now only 3/10 back on Cashew, and as we're about to start lap 13 of this race, Farakamal's not close enough. She will probably not make a dive bomb. Yes, she will not make a dive bomb. Here's Rakimbayev and Fumai challenging for a few positions or two. They will not be pitting anytime soon. Gibbons is now caught to the back of Kaczynski. Will Gibbons steer clear of Kaczynski as soon as possible? We'll wait and see. The board is slowly catching up to Gibbons right now. The gap is now 2.8 seconds when previously it was 3.1. Leo is slowly there. He's basically in contention for points as well. Petrov and Suharto 9th and 10th. As you can see, Farrakhan is getting pretty close there to Cashew. Will she make a move? Forces Cashew off wide. No, she's the one that goes off wide, tries to make a move too early. Gets caught up by Cashew and is now giving Cashew a slight breather. And now Farrakhan will be the next driver to be called into the pit. Lap 14. She will be pitting this lap. I think she'll be good for a one stop. Heading into the final two turns here, Farrakhan is expected to be called into the pit. She will be looking to be in the battle between Kaczynski and Gibbens. Also, she has a very decent pit entry, and that's a very solid pit entry there for Farrakhan. No damage there. Farrakhan is pitting for second place. And here we see a battle between Kaczynski and Gibbens. Being overtaken by Rakhimbayev and Puma and Kachi, who have yet to pit. Farrakhan is still having her car being serviced. Kaczynski is barreling down the main straight, as does Callum Gibbons. Farrakhan is just about getting her car exiting the track, and there she is. She accelerates off. She steers clear of Kaczynski and Gibbons. But her tires aren't warm yet, so she will be definitely losing touch. And of course, she just exits just ahead of Kaczynski and Gibbons. And Kaczynski's gonna take a move, might make a move around the inside, uses Farrakhan as a pick, and so does Count Gibbons as it stands. Watch this. And Farrakhan really closing the door on Count Gibbons, and that will allow the Porto to close in on Gibbons. And the Porto is gonna thank the same driver who has robbed him of a win in Autopolis for holding up Callum Gibbons in the championship battle. Now, Matthias Van der Poort has told that he's not on his way to perform poorly. He knows he's not going to perform well in Tokachi, but here he is in the midst of fighting for a championship. The Porto is closing in on Callum Gibbons. But of course, he said that he will epically lose, but he will still do his best for Tsunamaki Watame. The Porto is holding a station in 7th place. And obviously, Farrakhan's tires have now been activated, and that would mean that Farrakhan will aim to attack Kaczynski later on in this race. As we get driver going to pit, Fumai will be the next driver to pit. He's being called to get into the pit lane, and he will be around the battle between Vasilyev and Domaschnev. Domaschnev has unfortunately pitted twice and is looking to pit again. Unfortunately, there's been a bit of an issue with Domaschnev as it stands. It's not looking good for one of the championship contenders. The Porto is only 6/10 behind Gibbons. Gibbons only 4/10 behind Farrakhan. Farrakhan was only 5/10 behind Kaczynski. They're both not close enough. Braking into turn 1. Gibbons gonna try his best to stay calm in this scenario. He's still ahead of his two championship contenders. Doesn't matter if Cashew, Rakhimbayev, Kaczynski, and Farrakhan are ahead of him. Whatever the case is, still looking good for Gibbons. 32 points gained for him. Relative to the Porto's 21, and Domaschnev is 0. Only around 2.5 seconds separate between Kaczynski, Farrakhan, Gibbons, Porto, and Leo. The battle for third place is heating up at the moment. Kaczynski not having a lot of pace right now. Obviously, he's the first driver who had pitted. Last out Domaschnev with the fastest lap. 158.180. Amazing stuff from Domaschnev. And we're about to go for 5 laps to go. Cashew still leads Rakhimbayev and Kaczynski. Now it's Rakhimbayev's turn to pit, as just by Cashew. And with the last two drivers pitting, we'll see on where Cashew will end up to the rest of the field. We talked about how the overcut strategy works the best here in Tokachi. You can see Cashew clobbered the arm cut just a bit, but manages to get away unscathed. Rakhimbayev is also feeling into the pits. He's not going to be challenging for the win, but Cashew will be. And here is the battle right now. Cashew, Farah Kamal, Kaczynski, Farah Kamal, Gibbens, De Porto, and Leo fighting for what is currently a battle for race lead. As for the Farah Kamal and Kaczynski and the rest of the field, barrel down the main straight, exiting the final corner to start lap 16. Cashew has just gone out of the pit lane. Kaczynski is currently able to overtake Cashew. Yes, he does. So does Farah Kamal. So does Gibbens. And De Porto is behind Muhammad Cashew. But it's time for De Porto to attack. His tires aren't warmed up yet. And now De Porto manages to steer clear of Cashew. Cashew's overcut strategy has not worked out after all. They have managed to get their second stints working for those who are doing the undercut and those battling in the top 5. And now Kaczynski is in line to lead this race. But we'll see if there is another twist. Pumai and Cashew are cleared for the entire race. Kizuara Leo is not cleared. And so does Vladislav Domaschnev. Leo is going to have to pit a second time. And Vladislav Domaschnev having another issue with the calculation of the fuel will have to pit once again. This will be a 3-stop strategy for Domaschnev, and it's not going to do himself any favors. Rakhimbayev is cleared for the entire race. And it looks like Kaczynski is also cleared as well. As the Sergei Petrov and Wawas Porto. De Porto is not cleared either. So basically, all the championship contenders are going to be out of it. And that's not going to do any of the championship contenders any favors. We'll see on who gets to do a lot of damage limitation. But as it stands, Kaczynski is good on field until the end. Farah Kamal is good on field until the end. So does Muhammad Cashew. And with Gibbons, Porto, and Leo pitting, the podium is going to stand like this. Kaczynski, Farah Kamal, and Cashew. An amazing stuff. It will be a Chocomel 1-3 as it stands as well. So this is going to be an interesting outlook to see. Oh my. Yeah, we also noted about that one. For those who cannot join, if that's not possible, then don't worry. Anyways, Leo is being called to the pits. He has to pit for the second time. He has miscalculated on field. He thought he could make it to lap 20 with the field strategy that he had, but too bad for him. Just want to notify to Kaczynski that he is leading this race right now. We have completed 60 laps of this race so far, and Domaschnev, as it stands, have been lapped as it. I believe Domaschnev is lapped. And if you want to compare Domaschnev and Kaczynski, he's currently at twins, and Kaczynski has just entered the back straight. So right now Domaschnev has yet to be lapped. And the battle for the race lead, while it is currently extending into 5th right now, sorry, 4th right now, Gibbons and De Porto will have to pit the second time. They have both miscalculated on fuel, unless they can make it to lap 20 at least. And it looks like they aren't going to be at the moment. They're only like around 6 liters of fuel. So they have to pit around lap 18 or lap 19. That's going to put him out of contention. But whatever the case is, Raja Kaczynski is leading at Tokachi, and she's going to bring home for a win for Yuzuki Choco. Four Lexus cars have won in Split A. And to my knowledge, 6 Lexus cars have won in Split B. Kaczynski may as well have been the last Lexus driver. He could be the last Lexus driver here in Hololive GT3 season, the 2022 season, to win in a Lexus car. Now obviously in Split B we have Cashew. Well, Cashew has not won a race. Azat won a race in the 60cc with normal Lexus. Akirose won in the Roboco Lexus in Fuji. Although Gibbons have not won a race yet. And then we have Domaschnev winning for Akirose. And then we have basically Azad. Well, before this count, Gibbens had won a race in the number 18 Lexus. Kaczynski have yet to win a race. But this one, the Porto has won, and so does Thomas Nukes. That's basically 10 Lexus cars winning in Hololive GT3 already. All of them except Kaczynski have won a race, but this race could be it for Kaczynski, as he will be the last driver in the Lexus family to win a race in Hololive GT3. Well, rather, the Yuzuki Choco Lexus will be the last one in the Lexus family to win a race in Hololive GT3. We are at around 2.5 laps to go, but Farah Kamal is trying her best to catch up to Kaczynski. And unfortunately, we had to call for Gibbens and Porto to come into the pits. Their fuel situation has been way too dire. They thought they could last 2 more laps with this fuel strategy, and it looks like that's not paying off for the Porto and Gibbens. They will be having to pit once again from basically 3rd and 4th, and that's gonna be easy points from Gibbens and Porto gone, and that will play into the hands of the Domaschnev, who's currently doing damage control. Here we see Kaczynski going out into the main straight, and as you can see, Gibbens in the Porto. Watch out for Gibbens in the Porto. Will they mess up their pit entry? Yes! They've messed with the pit entry! Then so does Mateo and Porto! Both drivers out of the race! Both champions are contenders out on pit entry! And that will be the best of the mission! Will place himself into the points! He will be placed into 10th! And look, what's this? I'm being heard that Zeke Wimberly is here in the commentary booth. Welcome, Zeke Wimberly. I think you assigned something absolutely insane between Gibbons and the Porto. He crashed on pit entry. Yeah, we have noted that Zeke is currently trying to connect to the booth right now. Currently, the jack is not working at the moment. But whatever the case is, Gibbons and the Porto are now out of the running entirely in this race, and that will be the Domaschnev will be back in the points. 1 point gain for Domaschnev may as well been a deciding factor in the championship. Amazing stuff here. We're looking at Raja Kaczynski, who is currently on lap 19 of this race. Faragama's trying to catch him. Cashews in 3rd, Petrov 4th, Suharto 5th. And as you can see, Cashew is really struggling here. Petrov going to try to get himself back onto the podium for the first time for the Nekomata Okayu Nissan since Okayama. And for the first time in his career. And there we have confirmation that Domaschnev is going to basically win it. Well, win in the battle of the championship here. Finishes ahead of Gibbons at the Porto while he does only gain 1 point. Domaschnev will basically make the most out of this weird situation between Gibbons and the Porto on pit entry. And here's Raja Kaczynski starting the final lap of the race in the number 74 Suzuki Choco Lexus. Zeke Wimberly, if you can get yourself on hot on the mic, we would like to hear your thoughts. Okay, Zeke, you can try your best here, but I don't think I can hear you at the moment. But whatever the case is, right now, Raja Kaczynski, yes, you are. This is no dream, Raja Kaczynski. You are currently leading this race, trying to hold off Putri Farah Kamal for the race win. And right now, Kaczynski is gonna race the race of his life to basically hold on into this race win. He will be the Suzuki Choco Lexus will be the last Lexus car to win a race in Hololive GT3 in 2022. I'm just gonna get my stopwatch ready just to score the winners and the race results for race 1. Kaczynski has done what he needed to do, qualifies on the first 2 rows. Kaczynski doing very well to stay out of trouble, manages to get the undercut strategy right against Muhammad Cashew. Obviously, teammates in the Choco Mel side of things. Farah Kamal's gonna consolidate a decent result for her in the number 63 Yukon Honda. With the top two in the championship now scoring points, and Domaschnev only scoring one. Farah Kamal is gonna be in prime position to be a dark horse contender for the championship. Also with Thomas Lux in basically DNFing out of it, it's going to be Putri Farah Kamal's chance to steal a lot of points. 75 points for free for Putri Farah Kamal. As for Raja Kaczynski into the final two turns, Raja Kaczynski, Hololive is going to be in the air tonight for Raja Kaczynski as he's barreling down the final two turns. Raja Kaczynski has had some trials and tribulations, has tasted the podium before, and it's now Raja Kaczynski. Raja Kaczynski wins for Yuzuki Choco. And then we have Cashew in third, and then we have Petrov and Suharto. Rakimbayev not far behind in sixth. And Andrew Rakimbayev getting into sixth place. Fumai seventh. Vasilyev gets into the pits in the final lap, and that would be her race, kind of. But let's see if she can cross the finish line. No, she has not crossed the finish line. That would be Kizara Leo was still 8th place. Kizara Leo steals 8th. Kizara Leo steals it. And Vladislav Domaschnev is still too far back. And that would mean that Vasilyev will just consolidate 9th. Well, here's Domaschnev still there. Here's Vasilyev getting out on track. And yeah, she gets scored. Vasilyev is in 9th. And for Domaschnev getting onto the final two turns, obviously the race has been called at this point. Domaschnev is going to basically finish off the job that neither Gibbens or the Porto can do. Vladislav Domaschnev gets to finish 10th. Steals a point away from Gibbens and the Porto. And that is the race over. And we are going to transition over into the race results. Actually, yeah, we're going to transition just a bit into the race results here and looking at the gaps once again. But whatever the case is, the results have been confirmed, as we'll be getting into the pits here. And I will be sharing the results soon enough, and that is basically it for the entire session. Basically for race 1, race 1 settle here. The results will be provisional. And right now, we're currently still in transition here. We're going to be looking at the results later on, and we're going to be paying attention to some of the gaps here. And right now, I am going to try to basically pay attention to we're going to pay attention to see what has happened in this race so far. We're going to be taking a look into the replay once again to see where all of these drivers end up, because there is a bit of an issue with scoring the amount of laps because there was 7 extra laps. But whatever the case is, Raja Kaczynski have solidified his first win in Hololive GT3. Congratulations to him. Oh dear, there's gonna be a bit of an issue with a hot mic out there. It's gonna be pretty busy out there, so I'm gonna turn on the mic for a while. Anyways, we're back on the mic right now, and there has been a bit of a, how do we put this, a scoring error that we may need to pay attention to. We're just gonna need to record we're gonna need to record the results manually just to double check on who wins who. But whatever the case is, the results have been confirmed. Kaczynski wins. Farah Kamal is in second. Cashew is in third. And then we have Sergei Petrov almost getting his chance on getting into the podium for the first time since Okayama and number 5 Nakamata Kayune-san. Suharto in 5th. Rahimbayev in 6th. And then we have Fumai in 7th. Leo will definitely steal 8th due to Vasilia pinning way later than usual. And Domaschnev will finish 10th place. So we will update the championship as we go. Bear with us here as we will try to get ourselves in position here. And we also want to check back if the replays are saved. And right now, yes, we have confirmation that the replay is indeed saved. So great stuff there. And for 11th place, we will need to pay attention to what happened. So, based on the data that we have right now, Azad, wait, no, Santini crashed out first, so D will be credited with 15th place. Then Snooks has his pit lane incident, or rather, it was Azad and Snooks, and then Azad and then Snooks. So Azad will be credited with a 14th place finish. Snooks 13th. And then if we look at who entered pit lane first, Gibbens entered it first, and then he was off. And at the same time, the Porto entered it as well. So as it stands right now, Kaczynski will be awarded the win. Of course, we need to basically pay attention to the championship permutations later on. I was going to need to update this later on live soon enough. And whatever the case is that the race results, yeah, the headphone jack problem for Zeke is still pending, unfortunately, and that will not do him much favors. So we're gonna move into basically, actually, no. We're gonna red flag basically the entire session here to just get ourselves back into basically the note taking, just to basically record on who earns what and who gets what. But right now we're looking at some of the confirmation here that, oh dear, it hasn't been updated much. So Kaczynski won, but he didn't take pole position. And Kaczynski wins in the number 74 Yuzuki Choco Lexus. Domaschnev has consolidated a 10th place run. And then we also have some few finishers as well. So we're going to need to do some note taking as well, as we're about to settle with the settings here. So Kaczynski was currently so as of right now, we're looking at Kaczynski's race results. Kaczynski won when Kaczynski was at around yeah. Anyways, poor Zeke having to deal with his issues right now. I feel his pain as it stands. So we're looking at the results right now. Kaczynski having 228, now having 328. So good job from him in the standings here right now. So the one who finishes second right now is Putri Farakamal, 449 plus 75. That would be 524 points for Putri Farakamal. And third place, Muhammad Cashew is currently sitting last in the Split B Championship He had 194 points, well, still within championship contention. Well, actually, due to Cashew scoring points and Gibbons not scoring any points, as Matthews won the Porto, every driver is still in championship contention. How amazing is that? So with Cashew scoring points where Callum Gibbons has not, 194 and 55, that would mean that Cashew will have accrued 249 points already. And for fourth place would be Sergei Petrov. Sergei Petrov is currently 214 points plus 43 points. That's the point scored for fourth place. It's 214 plus 43 would be 257. So Sergei Petrov will have 257 points. And then Santini, not exactly Santini. Santini is out of the running. Wawan Suharto finishes fifth. So Wawan Suharto currently having 422 points will have scored 32 points. And with 32 points, looking at the scoreboard right now, 454 for Wawan Suharto. Sorry, no. 454 points for Wawan Suharto. And for basically Rahim Bayev, for Andrew Rahim Bayev finishes sixth. Rahim Bayev had 317 points entering this race. So 317 and 21 would have been 338. Yes, 328 points accrued for Andrew Rakhimbayev. And Rakhimbayev basically finishing seventh. Fumai only scoring 5 points. He would mean that he will have 437. He's already only manages to score 2 points, so he will get 227. And as for the last point scorer, Plaza Domaschnev, he'll have 493. Now, we're going to need to do some modifications to some of the files due to heavy amounts of discrepancies, unfortunately. We did have changed the venue, and yeah, we apologize for another mishap in the lap count. And we're going to be right on it to basically alter the championship to the basically the corrected championship values, and we're gonna be surprised. Actually, everyone's gonna be surprised to see how much the championship order has swung at this point, because yeah, hang on, we're gonna need to modify just a bit. We're gonna need to do some slight modifications here because there has been a bit of an issue with the championship files is damaged, so we're gonna need to do another lengthy red flag to the entire session. And yeah, it's gonna take some time for us to do this red flag. And right now we're gonna need to double check on some of the files here. I'm not sure we have the documents file somewhere, but I think, yeah. So we are going to quote unquote reset the championship and bring it back to where we were last round. So it's gonna take a while for us to basically get back into when we will resume the session for race 2 of Split B. But for now, we're gonna hold on to this red flag. Before we proceed any further with the session, we're gonna need to do modifications to basically the championship. Hang on. Let's see. Event 0.0 Okay, so a bit of an update. We have basically reset the championship for Split B, and we'll get on board the results by the 17th race. And by the 17th race, I mean we will need to do some extra modifications to see um, where the issues are at the moment right now. Because, hang on, let me just. Hang on just a little bit. Oh, just gonna take us some few more minutes before, basically around 88, 10 more minutes before we're about to start Split B race 2 qualifying. So bear with us here. So we're gonna go on board with updating the championship standings at the moment right now, and as it stands, Okay, everyone, welcome back to the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series, and we're now going to give you a good update on the championship standings here at the moment. We have finally done the recalculations for all the drivers involved, and now as it stands right now, Futari Farakama is now up to 3rd place. Apologies if this shows at 31, it's going to switch back to the 63 soon enough. And for Futari Farakama, he's now jumped up to 3rd in the championship standings. Vladislav Domaschnev is in the Vladislav Domaschnev stays within the championship battle here. Whilst Porto is back in the championship hunt. Now, we did mention that you need to be 170 points ahead behind the championship leader if you want to have any shot of basically still being in it to win the championship. Now, as it stands right now, everyone is still in it for the championship, from basically Cashew to Gibbens. They will all have a realistic shot of winning the championship. And then we have Vladislav Domaschnev still in 4th, Mazarato 5th, Tomasnev 6th, Hofumai 7th, Vasiliev 8th, Azat 9th, Raija Kaczynski now moves on to the top 10 for the first time after winning his first Hall GT3 race. And Rahimaya drops down to 11th, Sergei Petrov 12th, Cashew 13th, Kizuhara Leo 14th, and Santini is in 15th. And now we're going to be shifting over into qualifying for Split B Race 2. And we do apologize if there is another bit of an issue when it comes to the scoring and all that stuff. We're going to need to notify everyone that we're going to be back. And so we have the drivers getting into the qualifying session here. Hang on. We're just going to need to get ourselves recalibrated. So here we are. Apologies if we have to start slightly later because we had to recalibrate the championship. Farakamal, obviously the first driver out on track. With only 7 minutes left on qualifying, we'll see whether or not we have themselves back on the hunt and all that stuff. Farakamal still holding steady here in her car, number 63 Yuki Hanalami Honda. Apologies if this audio hasn't been on yet. Now you can hear the car sounds. Rahim Bayev in 6th. Well, he's currently qualified 6 right now. Classified 6 right now. We'll get the race results for Split A, Split B, Race 1 later on. Well, actually, we did have the result, but will be posted on the Discord later on. But I want to talk about Futari Farakama. We did mention that she is now back as a dark horse contender for the championship, while now sitting in 3rd place at around 520 points, just a fraction behind the Porto and 50 points behind Callum Gibbens. This late season charge by Futari Farakama is something to look out for. Now, we've gone on to a lap in Tokachi before, and I don't know if I'm able to do this again. Domaschnev is currently 4th in the championship standings, being bumped down by Futari Farakama. And obviously it's getting pretty overcast here in Tokachi at the moment. It's gonna get pretty cold and rainy, in a sense. Farakama has just crossed the line to start the lap. Sergei Petrov is about to start his lap as well. Here's Hofumai, still in the middle portion of the championship, looking to find some performance and some results. Cashew, previous race was in 3rd. And here is the defending race winner, Raija Kaczynski in basically 15th. In 15th currently classifying the standings, but has won the previous race in Tokachi. We're just gonna let the qualifying session roll over and see who will edge ahead of each other. But as it stands right now, my money is on Fujiwara to try to mount a late season charge against consistent Count Gibbens and potentially one of Porto has won 2 races already. And looking at the sector times right now, Fujiwara has already set the fastest first sector, 35.1, but that's actually irrelevant now as Cal Gibbons has lost. Domaschnev set the equally fast first sector lap times, with Domaschnev having the slight edge by the hundredths of a second, 47.9 for Fujiwara on the first sector. Second sector here. She's just about finishing her lap into the final 2 turns. The chicane. The Farakawa's about to finish her lap. What will it be? A 1:58.566. That's a massive lap time from Fujiwara. We're looking at Gibbons and Domaschnev. Domaschnev is already 4/10 off. Sergei Petrov tries to get a lap time in, but is 8/10 off. Here's Fumai, bumps Petrov down. Cashew is showing that he still has quite the pace maybe, but still 3/10 behind Farakamal. Farakamal, definitely the person to look out for in this race. Azad is not turning heads right now, neither does Rakhimbayev, but for Domaschnev, he's definitely being held up there by Rakhimbayev in the second sector, but what can Domaschnev do? Goes up to 5th, is about to overtake Rakhimbayev into turn 1. Let's hope we have a very good shot at it. Gibbons has set the provisional pole time. Very good lap there from the Australian as Gibbons is looking very far, is looking to have a good shot to bring the Roboco Lexus back into victory lane for the first time since Fuji, the season opener. And for the first time as a driver, he will have a chance to win in 3 different cars, basically. Santini in 9th place as it stands right now. The Porto 1.3 seconds behind. Make that, unfortunately, 2 seconds behind. Thomas is also 2 seconds behind as it stands. No, we're talking about the championship contenders here. Domaschnev is currently marked down in 6th. Snooks in 10th. Farakamal Alto all lining up on the front row alongside Gibbons is going to get pretty interesting and tasty. We're looking at Leo, who qualifies 5th. Very good stuff there. And Rajic is about to finish his lap there. He has a very sluggish second sector. Looks to have been overtaken by Fujiwara. Kazizaki will have 1 more shot of a flying lap. Bumps Rakhimbayev down. Let's see where all the other drivers end up. Fumai peels into the pits. That's his qualifying session over. He will start no higher than 3rd. And we're looking at some of the field lap times. Hikitara Leo is not looking to improve either. He's only 3/10 behind. Well, if you look at the lap times here, no one has reached below the 35.0 set by Callum Gibbons. But he is looking very fine. Look at Domaschnev! Domaschnev has improved his lap time. He's now up to 5th. Very good stuff there from the Japanese registered driver. And Gibbons has not improved though, but manages to still stay on provisional pole. Almost Harto is not looking to gain either. No gains from Harto, unfortunately. He's really losing grip on his tires right now. He's going to lose touch with the championship leader, Callum Gibbons. Tries his best to eke out the remaining grip on his tires, but that's not going to do him any good in qualifying. He's going to qualify as high as 8th. No improvements there from the Porto, unfortunately. Thomas Nukes qualifies outside the top 10. Catherine Vasilyev, no improvements from her either. Previous race winner Kaczynski's gonna start 14th at best. Kizuhara Leo's currently qualified in 6th. Where will he end up? Still 6th. No improvements from him either. For Trifara Kamal was about to finish her lap, and it's going to be no improvement so far. That's her lap done. And for the rest of the field here, Kaczynski has crossed the line to stage 14th. That's where he will start. Rakhimbayev is literally losing grip. He's not in contention for top 10 even. And as for Azad, not looking to find much pace either as he is barreling down the main straight. Where will he? Let's see if he can gain some lap time. He'll stay 10th. Domaschnev looking for some pace gains here. He's only 3/10 off in second sector. Will Domaschnev gain some time? Yes, he does. He qualifies 3rd. And Gibbens, and that will be the entire field, I assume. Callum Gibbens qualifies on pole. Farah come out 2nd, and Vladislav Domaschnev will qualify 3rd. Basically, 3 of the 4 drivers in the top 4 in the championship is qualified in the first 3 spots on the grid. And speaking of qualifying, let's take a look into the grid order for the start of this race here in Tokachi Split B Race 2. Here we see Callum Gibbons on pole once again. Putri Farakama is in 2nd, Vladislav Domaschnev 3rd, Fumai 4th, Casio 5th, Kizora Leo 6th, Sergei Petrov 7th, Matias Porto 8th, Monsorto 9th, Azza 10th, Snooks 11th, Santi D 12th, Katsimas 13th, Krasinski 14th, and Andrew Akhimbayev will start last on the grid, unfortunately. With 20 laps of racing fixed from the 27 that we had previous race. We'll be transitioning over into the start cameras here. We'll have 50 cars lined up on the grid for the start here in basically Tokachi in Sarabetsu, Hokkaido. We have an interesting front row here. Callum Gibbons sits on pole on your right. And then we have Farah Kamal and the Lamy Honda on the left. They will start the front row. The Domaschnev not far behind in 3rd. Then the race gets underway. Gibbons. Oh, a pretty decent launch there for Gibbons, but Farah Kamal has a better launch there. She will have the best shot. Taking you lead in turn 1 for the Farah Kamal. Instantly regains, or rather gains the lead. And the Domaschnev and Gibbons are going side by side. The championship contenders going in the hammer and toms. Domaschnev pushing Gibbons slightly off wide. Looking at Kizar Leo is having a very good shot. He has also had a good start as well. The Porto is walked down the start as well. He is now down to 8th. Santini and Sarnos. Sergei Petrov Santini battling it out for 9th place. Oh, looks to be a very nice battle here between the two, and it looks like Sergei Petrov's 9th place. Snooks up to 12th. Vasilyev and Rakhimbayev not in contention for the win at all. Farakama leads this race. Domaschnev 2nd, Gibbons 3rd, Leo 4, Casio 5th, Fumai 6, Porto 7th, the Porto 8th, Sergei Petrov 9th, and Santini rounds out the top 10. Looking pretty decent there. There's no much side-by-side battle here after they passed through the first sector. Here looks like, oh, look at this. Fumai looking to pounce on Casio went slightly wide, and look at Gibbons trying to pounce on Domaschnev, his fellow championship rival. And as it stands right now, Gibbons will lose 20 points to Domaschnev. Domaschnev will have a better shot in fighting for the championship in the final 2 races in the final round in Suzuka. It's a different story compared to Split A. Farah Kamal currently in this race, she's on course to, if she can hold on to this race lead, she will win her 4th race of the season, tying the record for most wins in Hall GT3 to Shazid Reza. Amazing stuff. Porto side by side now with Suharto Zabakatari. Battle for position De Porto on the inside. Will he make a move? Will it stick? De Porto's on the inside, tries to push Suharto off track, but it's De Porto overtaking Suharto for 7th. De Porto's going to try to limit as much damage as possible to the Gibbens, by the way. And right now for Gibbens, he will lose basically 45 points to Farah Kamal if it stands like this, and Farah Kamal will definitely no longer be a dark horse contender for the championship. She will be a championship contender heading into the final round of Suzuka. And also Santini defending against Kaczynski. She does very well. Santini has done very well to defend Kaczynski from basically 10 for 10th. And then Gibbons trying to get up and close and personal with Domaschnev. Decent stuff there from Gibbons here, tries to get up and close with Domaschnev. Are we going to see much battles here? We could be seeing a battle between Fumai and Cashew. Cashew, obviously. Oh, he's actually pulled away just a bit to Fumai. He's now caught up to Leo, who's currently in 4th place. Now we also talk about some of the drivers who have had a late season resurgence. Farah Kamal, previously Shazin Reza and Santini in the Yugara Lamy Honda were basically non-contenders. And looking at Kaczynski and Niebauer side by side once again, but now Kaczynski looking to make the pass for 10th place. Good stuff there from Kaczynski. And now Lee really getting loose there off the final turn. It's going to be under pressure for Thomas Snooks. Thomas Snooks has the slipstream, but will Snooks get close enough? Will Snooks be able to overtake Lee for 11th place? Not quite close enough. And speaking of which, we're on lap 3 of this race. We'll look into who gets to pit early, who gets to pit late on the race field monitor. Last on Domaschnev, Clown Gibbons. These will be the drivers who will be pitting first. And for the drivers pitting late, and Rahimbayev and Kizuhara Leo, watch out for them. Well, Roboco strategy has worked sometimes, and hasn't worked for some, but this is a gamble that they are trying to make up for. Obviously, track position is going to be very important for them, so watch out for them. They may be able to launch a surprise attack. And speaking of race leader, Putri Farah Kamal, she will be in the middle, although she'll be leaning more towards the overcut strategy. Lap 3 of this race, and Farah Kamal still holding on that 2-second lead over Domaschnev. Domaschnev really holding Gibbons up quite a bit here. We're looking at the second times. Kyle Gibbons is slower than Domaschnev on the first sector by only 10th of a second, and on the second sector too. So, in a sense, Domaschnev is slightly pulling away from Gibbons as it stands. And for Fumai, trying to get close up and personal with Cashew is not quite close enough. Cashew is going to try to get close up. Get up close and personal with Leo. Into the final 2 turns, Cashew getting really close, but will he get close enough? Not quite. So Leo will hold on to 4th place, Cashew 5th, Fumai 6th, Porto 7th, Suharto 8th, Petrov 9th, and Kaczynski 10th. Obviously, the first race had a lot of racing action, and now the second one may as well be different. This could be a procession, maybe a race boiling down to strategy. But we'll wait and see. As you can see here, Santini goes a bit off wide, tries to make a move on Kaczynski, but backfires, and is now under pressure from Snooks. So if I reckon by hanging back in 14th and 15th, they're not really contending much for the top 10. Domaschnev really making his car work at the moment, but of course with all the Lexus cars with their pit woes and all that stuff, who will be able to finesse their pit entry? We'll wait and see as we're about to get into the pit cycles. And first driver to pit, remember, Gibbens and Domaschnev, and they will be pitting at roughly the same time. So, due to them pitting at roughly the same time, we could be seeing both of them messing up their pit entry, especially with Domaschnev entering first, or Gibbens entering first. One of them could be, if one of them has an issue, then both of them could have an issue, if we're talking about Domaschnev being in front or Gibbens being in front. Petrov 9 holding on to that position right now. Suharto losing touch to the Porto in 7th place. Basically, we're looking at the championship contender here. Farakamal is leading. Domaschnev 2nd, Gibbons 3rd. So we're gonna look into Domaschnev setting the fastest lap of the race in the Akirose Lexus 158.577. Very good stuff there from the Japanese registered driver. And now look at Kaczynski. Getting awfully close there with Petrov. Will Kaczynski peel into the inside? We go on board the number 74 Lexus. This doesn't look like Nissan is pulling away. And that's 9th place for Sergei Petrov at the moment. On board with the 66. Those are our Met Lexus. Azad's really closing into Thomas News as well. Azad really piling in on the pressure though. Really is in the battle, is in the mix of the contention for the race for what looks to be 8th place right now. So Azad's really holding Petrov, Kaczynski, Nice, News, and Azad, which basically involves 6 cars, relatively speaking. Outside Domaschnev holding on to 2nd place. That's a pretty good job from him. Gibbons in 3rd place, really pushing his car up. And look at Kaczynski trying to make a move on Petrov, but no, look at Petrov. He has the inside line. It's the battle for 8th place here. No, battle for 10th. He's losing touch with the drivers in front, and it's now Sergei Petrov on the charge, and Sergei Petrov has the inside line. Has a better traction there into victory lane as you see the proximity arrows. And look at this! Petrov has been spun around, has been contacted by Santini, and that's Sergei Petrov's race over! Commiserations there for Sergei Petrov. Another Nissan making contact with another car, and this time it's Santini. This time it's Santini bearing the brunt of the deal. Now, of course, the results are still provisional there from race 1. We haven't added 15 seconds into Leo's lap time, so most likely or not, it will be only a shift between a point between Leo and Domaschnev. So we'll definitely update that later as well. But yeah, it's Sergei Petrov's race over on the quarter mark of race 2 here in Split B in Tokachi. We're gonna go for a silent lap here as we're about to start at lap 7. 5 laps complete, and we're seeing Domaschnev having that 3-second gap over Farah Kamal. Gibbons is not far behind, only a second behind Domaschnev. Leo is of course 9 seconds behind Gibbons, and is behind him. He's under pressure from Cashew. Is now catching up to Cashew and Leo. And we're about to start our silent lap here, so we're about to hear this roar of these engines and these GT3 cars. Farkamal is in the main straight. We're going to go silent in this next lap. We hope you enjoy the sounds of these GT3 cars. is the final lap over, and what an interesting lap that was for lap 7. There's a lot of action here. As you see, Kaczynski overtaking Suharto for 8th place, Aza overtaking Snooks for 11, and the tussle for 4th place. Dio losing touch with the rest of the field here relative to Cashew and Fuma. Cashew and Fuma gaining 1 place over Kizuhara Leo. What an amazing race that was. And of course, Thomas Stokes is the first driver to be called into the pit. Will he nail the entry this time? Yes, he does. He lives to fight another day. Cashew in 4th place, looking to be very decent there. The 66 Lexus there. Cashew has been very good performing here in Tokachi right now. After that 3rd place finish in the last race, looking to consolidate with another good result in 4th. Remember, the 3 championship contenders are currently in the top 3. Currently in the top 3 in this race so far. Farah Kamal is not far behind from the Porto and is definitely slipping into taking the lead away from Gibbens. Domaschnev looking to gain more points away from Gibbens as well, but the Porto though languishing back in 7th. You can see the Lexus car losing the rear just a bit there on twins. Really shows that the tire wear in this Lexus is very evident, and now Gibbons has also mentioned that the tire wear in the Lexus has been, they've been munching on the tires harder than in the sense than Honda's due to them having extreme cornering loads. Kaczynski in 8th place. Let's see if he can overtake the Porto. Kaczynski has a fast car all race and all round so far. Let's see if Kaczynski can try to pull up another good performance. It's not Domaschnev and Gibbons' turn. And yes, they have managed to get themselves into the pit lane safely and soundly. And so they will fight for another day. Let's see who will edge ahead of each other. More drivers barreling into the main straight here. And as you can see, they're about to finish their services soon. Let's see who will edge ahead. Gibbons is about to finish. Domaschnev first. Gibbons exits ahead of Domaschnev. The battle is now in Gibbons' favor this time. They have serviced the car faster than Domaschnev, and right now the ball is on Gibbons' court to try to extend the championship lead to Domaschnev as it stands. But right now, Farah Kamal is still leading this race, committing to an overcut strategy. Let's see if the overcut strategy can pay off. And looking at the field monitor right now, she will need to pit in the next 5 laps, as does Kizuhara Leo though. As for Kizuhara Leo, he will probably need to pit in the next 9 laps, so he will definitely be pitting right until the end. So basically, he will only have the first stint to worry about, and the second stint to really just fill, just bring it till the end of the race. Whatever the case is, Leo's going for the extreme overcut strategy. Let's see if it will pay off for the driver in the number 40 Honda. And as you can see, Domaschnev really getting into the inside line of Gibbons, but not quite close enough. Leo setting a present best of a 2-minute 4.61, not the best pace that we're looking for. Who will be the next driver to pit? Azad. Azad's not barreling into the pits. Let's see if he makes the entry this time. Oh, just scraping the arm code just a bit, but manages to keep himself safe. Very good stuff there from Azad. Thomas holds on to 14, Suharto 13, Domaschnev 12, and Gibbons 11. That's a net position though. 2:06, 0.67. Domaschnev is just faster on that last lap than Gibbo, but of course, it's not really that representative because they've just been a lap before. This is what a battle really comes. And now the next driver will be called in is Watame Cashew and Raijin Kaczynski. Chocomel combo will be the next driver to pit. X is behind Porto, but ahead of Snooks. Look how far Snooks is compared to Azad. Meanwhile, Raijin Kaczynski tries to catch the Porto. Santini trying to catch Kaczynski, trying to make it move around the outside of Santini, but it doesn't work out for Santini. Into Twins. Not quite close enough there for me. But let's see what he can do to catch up because it's and the Porto while they're battling for each other. Let's see if he can make the most out of the situation so far. Oh, look at the Domaschnev tries to make a move around the inside. Oh, Callum Gibbens into Twins. This is the battle for the championship. Domaschnev and Gibbens not giving each other an inch right now, and right now the battle is really spicing up. Almost pushes Gibbens off wide there. Domaschnev really on the move again. Let's see if the momentum can be carried over. Yes, it does. Domaschnev makes the pass on Callum Gibbens, and now Cashew, the Porto, Kaczynski manages to get into the pit safe and sound for them as well. But look at the move. Gibbens made the move into West End and into Twins, and then carries over into West End into victory. Domaschnev makes the move, gets the job done for Akirose. He's now ahead of Callum Gibbens. This will be crucial. Cashew exits behind the two championship contenders. We're looking at who will be pitting next. With Farakawa, hopefully will pit at the same time, but will they actually have the same amount of food, but will they be at the same time? That will be the question we'll be looking for. The Porto exits, as does Raijin. And Suharto manages to undercut Raijin. Good job there from Suharto. Kizuhara Leo currently in third place, trying to hold on to this overcut strategy. Fumai is now being called into the pits first. Trying to go for the variation of strategy. And as it stands right now, Fumai will still be the only driver being called into the pits. Oh, as you can see, Domaschnev really gonna try to make a move once again. In front of them is basically Rakhimbayev, and look at this, Vasiliev, and now look at Callum Gibbons now trying to make a move around the inside of Domaschnev, but Domaschnev is not being pushed way too wide. There could be 3 wide action into victory corner, and right now the battle is rife and strife, and Callum Gibbons repasses Domaschnev. Now Domaschnev has been trying to overtake Vasiliev and Rakhimbayev, who have yet to pit. Speaking of Vasiliev and Rakhimbayev, they're not going to pit anytime soon. The fuel efficiency in the Hondas would mean that Hondas could really hold on into the stretch as Fumai gets out in 4th place. Very good stuff there from Fumai. So we only have 3 drivers left who have yet to make a pit stop. Obviously, Sergei Petrov does not count because he's out of the race entirely. Let's see if Gibbons will make the same mistake as Domaschnev into the hairpin, leaving the door open for Domaschnev to make a move. Gibbons holding on to 7th place right now, Domaschnev in 8th. Cashew is not far behind of Domaschnev too. He's only around 3/10 into SG and into Paddock. Oh, as you can see, Domaschnev. Let's see if Gibbons will make the same mistake he does. He's getting pretty close there into Rakhimbayev. Will he make a move? I don't think he'll make a move, but look at this. Farakama has now been called into the pits as well. Oh yes, there he is. Here we see Cam Gibbons making a move there, but it doesn't work. But will. Oh, look at this! Almost a late dive bomb there from Domaschnev. Domaschnev's gonna try to make a move. He's gonna try it as much as he can to basically make the offense onto Gibbons right now. Farakama still servicing her car in the pits, letting the mechanics get the job done. Domaschnev will have another shot at trying to attack Gibbons right now. Cash is not far behind. Santini is also pitting at the same time. As you know, we apologize that it's not Farakama pitting, it's Santini who's pitting. Wait, Farakama has pitted. Farakama has pitted. Yes, Farakama has pitted. Sorry, Farakama has pitted and she stays second. Amazing stuff there from Farakama to hold on into second place right now. She could be on course to be tie the record for the most wins in Hololive GT3, tying the record to Muhammad Shazan Reza in the number 31 Himimori Luna Honda. Santini gets out in 9th place. The overcut strategy is not working for him at the moment, and if it stands as it stands right now, this may not work for Leo as well. Vasilyev and Rakhimbayev have yet to pit, and Gibbons has made the pass onto Rakhimbayev. Domaschnev is now going to be next to in-line to pass, but Rakhimbayev is not going to make life easy for Domaschnev, and that will mean that Gibbons will have a huge breather since he has overtaken Rakhimbayev, but he still has Vasilyev ahead of him that he needs to pass. They're fighting for position. This is not a lap car type of deal. So we have both Gibbons and Domaschnev trying to pass slower cars. Now let's see what Gibbons could do. Let's see what Domaschnev would do. Domaschnev trying to make a peek around the inside. Gibbons, I think, makes a move around the outside there, but it's looking very feisty there in the championship battle here. Domaschnev getting close, but not close enough. Rakhimbayev and Vasilyev is not being called into the pits, but Vasilyev will be the first to be called. Then it will be Rakhimbayev. So either way, it will be played under Gibbons' advantage at the moment. Get a good exit there. These two Lexus cars, they want to have themselves a battle at the end of this race. But seriously, Putri Farakama, though, she has been showing a good amount of dominance in the later season race. Let's talk about a late season comeback for Putri Farakama. Obviously, she has been in a class of her own. Domaschnev has passed Rakhimbayev and now has his eyes set on Katrin Vasilyev. Rakhimbayev now losing touch to the rest of the field. He knows that, Domaschnev knows that he has to catch up to Gibbons as much as he can. If you want to look into his sector 1 lap times, for Gibbons is 36.1, and as for Domaschnev, it's the 35.8. So we're looking at a 4/10 of a second difference there between Domaschnev and Gibbons. Now, Domaschnev is really into Gibbons at the moment. Domaschnev is being held up there by Vasilyev. Let's see if Gibbons can try to make a move. He's getting pretty desperate. Tries to make a move around the inside. It's going to be forced out wide just a bit. And gets a bit loose. Domaschnev is now on the offense. Now 5/10 separate between Gibbons and Domaschnev. And as we have confirmation, no, we don't have confirmation yet. The Vasilyev is going to hit this lap of 450.3 for Gibbons, and Domaschnev has a 49.5, 8/10 gain in the second sector alone. And right on the back bumper there goes Domaschnev, and yes, we have confirmation that Katrin Vasilyev is being called into the pits as we speak. Down the inside goes Gibbons, and this will be very crucial there as Vasilyev is going to peel herself into the pits, and this will build a gap between Gibbens and Domaschnev. It's now over a second. Let's see if Domaschnev can be able to catch Gibbens. And look at Cashew on the inside of Rakhimbayev, also trying to pick a slower Honda off. And I believe Fuma has already pitted as well. Yes, Fuma has already pitted. So, in a way, Fuma is also going to be returning in the podium as well, so good stuff from him. Still is in the pits getting her car serviced. Thomas is into the main straight. Will he be able to challenge? Easy pickings there for Thomas News. He takes 13th place. Farah Kamal in second. Fumai third. Gibbons fourth. Now, remember, Kizaru Leo has yet to pit this race. And yes, Kizaru Leo has yet to pit. He's going to need to pit in the next lap or two. Leo's had his time in the front. Now he's going to have to give it up. Domaschnev, only 2 seconds separating between him. Separating the two championship contenders. 35.3 for Gibbons on the first sector, 35.1 for Gibbons on the first sector. They're getting out of the twins corner to enter the timing beat for the second sector. 47.9 for Gibbons, Domaschnev 48.4. So Gibbons is building up the gap. So it's very crucial there for Gibbons now to eke out a gap against the championship contenders. He will be on the inside to have the best chance for a championship battle here in Suzuka for the season finale. Lap 16 of this race, Kizaru Leo, as we've heard that he's being called into the pits. It's time for him to get his car ready for service in the car, and amazingly enough, we had some crazy antics in pit entry for the Lexus cars in Split A Race 2 and Split B Race 1. But amazingly, Split B Race 2, there has not been much antics either. Yes, we have some drivers entering way too early, but everyone just made out unscathed. The only incident it happens to be from Sergei Petrov. That's amazing stuff. And Cashew not far behind from Domaschnev. Only 7/10 separating between 5th and 6th. Kaczynski and the Porto though fighting for position here. The Porto only able to gain 2 points. Gibbons about to gain 43. Domaschnev about to gain 32. But Putifara Kamal though is closing into Kizaru Leo. Even if Leo doesn't pit, Leo will not be in a very favorable position to hold on to these tires. But Farah Kamal though, who is favored to take the lead of this race after this, is going to be challenging for the championship against Callum Gibbons. It's going to be a 2-horse race between the two, a definite 2-horse race. Anything could happen in the final 2 races. We'll wait and see on how it plays out between the 63 and the 64. Kizaru Leo finally making his one and only stop. Now Gibbons is barreling down into basically exiting victory and into the final 2 turns. Domaschnev really defending against Cashew. He's still having his car service. It's not. Oh yes, but no! Kizaru Leo manages to exit ahead of Callum Gibbons. The overcut strategy has definitely worked there for Kizaru Leo. Very good stuff there for Kizaru Leo. He's now up to 3rd. And now as it stands, the biggest gainer seems to be Rajiv Kaczynski from 14th to 10th. Andrew Himbai is still in the pits right now. He's about to gain around maybe 6-5 positions. But one of the biggest gainers have got to be Kizaru Leo. The biggest loser may have just well been Sergei Petrov having involved in that incident with Santini. But I think it's a racing incident between Santini and Petrov. Lap 17 of this race tries to defend from Callum Gibbons. Callum Gibbons having the warmer tires there. While Kimbai exits ahead of Vasiliev. Gibbons will make him move around the inside. Thinks better off. He need to lock up there in the hairpin. You can see that the left front just kind of locks, gets off the ground there. Kaczynski is still hounding the Porto, but to no avail as it stands. Domaschnev trying to catch, or rather Cashew trying to catch Domaschnev, but to no avail either. Lap 18 of this race has started. Farakawa has done wonders to hold on to this race lead. Kaczynski trying to catch the Porto. The Porto tries his best to defend Kaczynski in 8. Make sure he minimizes the damage in the championship as much as possible. Domaschnev trying to minimize his damage in the championship as possible. Looking at Count Gibbens and Kizuhara Leo. Kizuhara Leo is going to score his third podium in the Hololive GT3 in the number 40 Murasaki Shion Honda. Puma is going to return to the podium once again for the first time since I believe Buriram back in May. Kutui Farakamal only has 1 1/3 of the racetrack to go. 17 laps complete for Farakamal. She's going to complete her AT, and once she completes her rider, she has around 2 1/3 of the racetrack left. She has done a remarkable drive. Started on the front row, manages to finesse her strategy absolutely well. With Domaschnev, Gibbens falling behind, with Farakamal staying put, Farakamal holds on to this race lead in a sublime fashion. Cashew still trying to catch Domaschnev, but he's losing ground just a bit. So you can see Cashew's lap time against Domaschnev moves out to Domaschnev by just 1/10. A 24-second gap between Kutui Farakamal and Hofumai. What an amazing domination from Kutui Farakamal. We have never seen this like this ever before in Hololive GT3. But right now, Callan Gibbons is trying to catch up to Kizuhara Leo. Kizuhara Leo's lap time is a bit slower to Hofumai, but he is definitely there, 2/10 faster than Gibbons. Domaschnev is already quite faster than Cashew as well, 1:59 to 9:3. So I know 2:06.56 for Leo, 8:47 for Gibbons, 1:59.935 for Domaschnev, 2:01.14 for Cashew. Will Domaschnev be able to catch Gibbons in time? We'll wait and see as Gibbons tries his best to overtake Leo. Well, lap 19 right now. Gibbons is going to try his best to get himself into the podium. Leo's going to try his best to get himself into the podium as well. And right now he's in the position to be in that podium position. Well, Gibbons make the move around the inside. Takes a look. Maybe not quite. He's losing out to Domaschnev big time there. Now the gap between him and Domaschnev is 1.2 seconds. The battle for fourth is really heating up here. If we're looking at the space between Gibbons and Domaschnev, Domaschnev has gained to Gibbons by already over a second. So watch out for this. Domaschnev is not over yet for Domaschnev to try to pass Cal Gibbons for position in the final lap. It's the final lap of the race here for Kutui Farakamal. She has started the final lap of the race. She's now in turns 2 and 3, and a dominant drive by Kutui Farakamal. 25 seconds is the gap between Farakamal and Fumai. Suarez does now pass Azad for position. They're still at West End, and it looks like it's Suharto's 10th place. Looking at gap between Gibbens and Leo. Domaschnev is really closing up to Gibbens as it stands. Fumai will return to the podium as it stands. Kizaru Leo will be on the podium as it stands. Domaschnev really holding on to his car at the moment. Domaschnev really pushing the limits on his car. Let's see if he can make the last lap pass. Butifara Kamal is exiting Twins. For what could be what is the most dominant drive in Hall GT3 period up until this point. And as it's Suharto Valley side by side once again on the final lap. It's time's out at 10th place. Will Domaschnev make a move on the last lap? We'll wait and see as Butifara Kamal exits victory corner. 2 more corners to navigate for Butifara Kamal. She is about to make history as she's about to match the all-time winless record as she exits the final turn. Are you Yuki me? And about has made the pass on Caleb Gibbens. But we want to be taking a look at Butifara Kamal in the most dominating fashion possible. She wins it in Tokachi and Gibbens is about Gibbens and Domaschnev for the basically supremacy to the championship. Oh, it looks like Gibbons had definitely whirled up the exit there into victory. Oh, loses up just a bit, and it's gonna be a side-by-side battle, maybe. But it looks like Gibbons manages to hold on to Domaschnev just a bit. Gibbons really trying to fight for the championship right now. He'll be heading to Suzuka with the best advantage possible of anyone so far. Calvin Gibbons will finish 4th. Domaschnev finishes 5th, and Calvin finishes 6th. In addition to Fumai returning into the podium, and Domaschnev and Leo getting back on the podium again for the 3rd time in Hall GT3. Sanity will consolidate 7th place to Porto. 8th as it stands right now, defending against Kaczynski and Azad. But I would consider this race done and dusted for Butifara Kamal. She has won this race as it stands. The Porto 8th, Kaczynski 9th, Azad 10th. What an amazing final lap battle that was. Just wrecking by Erling into the final turn. 12th and 13th for them. And Katerin Vasiliev though will be finishing 14th. Not the result that she wanted, but still there. And that's pretty much race over. We're going to be transitioning over into the race results in what is one of the most dominant drives in Hall GT3 history. Here are the results. Butifara Kamal winning by over 25 seconds over Hofumai. Kizaru Leo gets back on the podium, basically destroys the Lexus Stronghold in Tokachi. Calvin Gibbons 4th, Domaschnev 5th, Casio 6th, Santini 7th, the Porto 8th, Kaczynski 9th, Azad 10th, Suharto 11th, Nukes 12th, Rakim by 13th, Katerin Vasiliev 14th, and Sergei Petrov rounds out the top, rounds out the 15 cars in the field. And speaking of Sergei Petrov, we're gonna go a bit rude here. Sergei Petrov started 11th. Let's see what happened to Sergei Petrov there on here. And as you can see, is embroiled in a battle with Raja Kaczynski. Makes a move around the inside. Side by side with Kaczynski. Into West End, they were neck and neck. They were both alongside. But Sergei Petrov's corner, but backs out just a bit. But here is one of the few more important shots. Let's look at Santini's on board. Makes the move down the inside and just 130 punt there by Santini. But I think it's a no harm, no foul as it stands. I need to double check on what's happening right here. As you can see there, Petrov wants to make a dive bomb down the inside of Kaczynski, and makes a dive bomb on Kaczynski. And we're going to look into one of the onboard shots for Petrov, especially the rear wing shot. As you can see here, oh, the 9 car Biff definitely has dive bombed him hard. Ooh. Definitely does his best to avoid border contact, but he knows his race is over, so that's pretty much it for Sergei Petrov. But I think the stewards have decided that it is a racing incident because it was basically 2 cars racing against each other. It's not a 1v1 type of battle because they're all embroiled in each other's racing. And so here is what everyone wants to look out for. The championship standings heading into the final round in Suzuka. And surprisingly enough, Putri Farah Kamal is your new championship leader, only 13 points ahead of Callum Gibbens. Matthias won the Porto, only just under 100 points behind Putri Farah Kamal, and Vladislav Domaschnev, 99 points behind Farah Kamal too. Fumai is still in contention, back in contention for the championship, but he's in a long shot as he's over 100 points behind. Juan Suharto on has also for Juan Suharto and Thomas Snooks. They also have a long shot to win the championship. But if you're Catherine Vasiliev and onwards below, that will mean that your championship hopes are over as you're 200 points below the championship leader, and so you will not have enough points to accrue in order to become champion. So for Azad, Catherine Vasiliev, Raji Kaczynski, Andrew Kimbai, Kizuhara Leo, Mama Cashew, Sergei Petrov, Santini, that's championship battle over for the championship itself, but the battle for their own respective championship position is still there. They're still going to be battle for the scraps in the final round, Suzuka. Whatever the case is, it has been a very messy but fun race we've had in the Hololive GT3 Japan series. And obviously, we'll be coming back in the next 3 weeks. We'll be having a lot of surprise in the event to see what's going to happen next. And obviously, it has been a fun time broadcasting this week's Hololive GT3 Japan series, trying to heat up the season finale. And as it goes, 2 completely different scenarios for the championship. We're going to be looking to have 7 drivers in contention in Split B, while there will be only 4 in Split A. So watch out for these 2 battles in the championship. More further announcements will be made on how the finale format will be. Whatever the case is, we hope everyone has enjoyed this broadcast of the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series, and we apologize for the mess up with the championship standings. But of course, this is the provisional standings. We have yet to deduct points away from Kizuhara Leo and give it back to the Domaschnev for position. But whatever it is, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast as much as I do. Despite the shortcomings, I am Mama Shazin Rizza in the commentary booth, and you have been watching the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan series.